Hillary Clinton's private internet server contained top-secret emails, according to the U.S. State Department. It's releasing 2,000 pages of emails from her time as the U.S. Secretary of State, but it couldn't be happening at a more difficult time. Clinton is hoping to secure the Democratic Party nomination for president, and it's now just 3 days from the Iowa caucus, the traditional starting point in the race for the White House. Well, Leone Lakhani joins us now from Washington with more on that. Leone, Hillary Clinton had hoped this would just go away. She'd said there was no classified material in the emails under investigation, and now it appears that might not be the case. Tell us what's being revealed now.
The State Department made an announcement, Andrea, that at least 7 email chains at the moment, contain top secret information, the highest level of classification. The reason why it's important, Andrea, is because Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State, had chosen to use a private email account rather than a government email account. And she was allowed to do it. It was permitted. And she turned over those documents to the State Department at the end of 2014 because they needed to keep it for record-keeping purposes. Now, they've been sifting through those emails, some 55,000 pages of those mails since the end of 2014, and releasing dribs and drabs of her emails because she insists that she's been transparent, that she has not sent or received any classified emails through her private email account. But now it emerges that there may have been some of them that are now deemed classified. And the next question will be, Andrea, whether it jeopardized any state secret. So that's going to be the next question, and that will be investigated, Andrea.
And another question to be asked is how all of this might affect her presidential ambitions.
It certainly cast a bit of a cloud over Hillary Clinton's political ambitions. When she first started this race at the end of last year, she seemed like a shoo-in. She was winning every single poll by a landslide. She was touted to be the Democratic candidate, the first female U.S. president. That's not the case anymore. She's very much in a dead heat in many of the polls with the next contender, Bernie Sanders. And in some demographics, she's actually not even winning those against Bernie Sanders. So she has been struggling. There are political pundits say that she's been struggling anyway with the whole concept of whether she's honest or not. And this email issue will certainly cast a shadow over her political ambitions. We've already seen some of the opposition members, opposition presidential hopefuls jumping on the bandwagon. There was a Republican presidential a hopeful debate on Thursday in which one of the contenders, Chris Christie, said, Hillary Clinton had put American lives at risk through her decision to have a personal email account. So it's definitely going to be an issue in the presidential campaign, Andrea.
Yeah, and you touch on something very important about how her opponents will try to use this to their advantage. They can argue that General David Petraeus was federally prosecuted for sharing classified information with his biographer. So there is likely to be a push for the same to happen to her from the Republican side of this debate, huh?
There will be, and also the whole legality of the issue. This was a question that came up in a White House briefing earlier, a couple of hours ago, where journalists asked if there was any danger of Hillary Clinton being indicted for these emails. The answer was, look, this is a question for the Department of Justice. There's also an FBI probe underway. So those are all legal issues that will also have to be, figured out in the next few months. So lots of questions underway, and we'll have to wait and see what happens, Andrea.
Okay, Leone, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for that, as always, live from Washington.